Okay, some big breaking news with China's editorial slamming and calling the Foreign Minister of India as lying, threatening military escalation. That's the latest. This is the Mouthpeice which has slammed the Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj, who, for the first time spoke of the military standoff at the border. The Chinese editorial in a widely read Chinese language edition of the Communist Party-run Global Times, slamming External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's remarks in Parliament, accusing the minister of lying and ruling out a simultaneous withdrawal in the disputed region, describing it to be the fantasy of India's. The editorial also goes on to threaten Delhi with military action, saying, and I quote, "China has already shown its tolerance and calmness to the largest extent. If New Delhi does not withdraw the troops, the last resort, the last option for China is fighting against India and ending the conflict without diplomatic means." That is the kind of, language that is being used in the editorial. Joining us for more is India Today's Geeta Mohan. And Geeta, a very shocking statement there being made, even targeting now India's foreign minister. Things have really, gone beyond reach, isn't it? Things have really escalated to another level.
Well, when we say Chinese media, Avantika, we really mean the Chinese government mouthpiece. The People's Daily and Global Times, we know, are papers that really resonate or speak of what the government in China, what Beijing is really thinking and contemplating. And in that, we've seen series of warnings and threats coming from the Indian side. But this certainly takes the cake when it comes to how the allegations have been leveled against External Affairs Minister of India, not only accusing India of lying, but also very clearly spelling out, Avantika, that there is going to be no withdrawal of troops from the Chinese side. India has been maintaining that if China has a precondition of withdrawal of troops, it cannot be unilateral. It has to be both sides, that both sides will have to pull back. The message from this entire editorial very clearly is, Avantika, that China is not going to withdraw, that China is warning and threatening India and calling Sushma Swaraj, the External Affairs Minister, a liar. That just goes to show how China has not just upped the ante,
yes,
but also the threats and warnings are serious in this Global Times article.
Oh, absolutely. But, indulging in rhetoric, ramping up the rhetoric and, indulging in all sorts of intimidatory statements is one thing. But actually slamming, a senior minister of a country is something else, isn't it, Geeta? What one can make of it, and what will be India's stance? Because all this while, India's stance as far as the military standoff at the border has been pretty consistent, trying to, trying to downplay the entire rhetoric, trying to diffuse the tensions as well.
Well, Avantika, it seems like China has left diplomacy far behind.
True.
It is not looking at diplomatic language, how to engage diplomatically to de-escalate tensions. Look at the kind of language that we're seeing coming from China. They're not just warning and threatening, which is one of China's old ways of aggressive posturing, but coming out and taking pot shots at the Indian leadership is something that certainly is not just low, but also questions China's intentions and what China really wants to do. Is China looking at a decent diplomatic engagement to de-escalate tensions? As of now, it doesn't seem like China is interested in talking to India at all.
Just very quickly, what about the other nations? What are you hearing from, say, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, or for that matter, we've heard from Bhutan as well, the Maldives. That kind of support for India at this juncture would also be crucial, isn't it?
Well, right now, Avantika, India has engaged only a few countries on this matter, while Beijing is aggressively engaging various countries to change the narrative to suit their own status quo, change of status quo, so to say.
All right, Geeta, thanks so much for joining us. I'll keep coming back to you. But for now, we're just receiving some more breaking news, and this one is coming in from the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi.